Oh, let's go.
What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and y'all are tuned in again to another episode of K-Rino Radio YouTube edition, man. I have two special guests with me tonight. If anybody is familiar with the Flint water crisis that took place, it started around 2013, 2014, and there's been so much talk about it because a lot of people have become sick based on contaminated water that the city of Flint, Michigan was using and distributed to the residents through the Flint River. And people are getting sick left and right. And this has been an ongoing thing for now, almost coming up almost on a decade, and nothing seems to be getting done about it. I have two brothers with me tonight that are immersed in that fight. One of my brothers, he is the CEO of Platinum Water Group. His name is Mr. Earl Brown. And I'll also have my brother from another, my hip hop family member, my brother Bubb-G, straight out of Austin, Texas, AKA Mr. Robert Garza. So let's get it in. Thank y'all for coming on, man. And I'll start with you, brother Earl. Just tell me how you got involved in the water and how you got involved in the Flint, Michigan project, and what are you guys doing to get that rectified?
Okay, hey, how you guys doing? And hello to your audience. What is it? I started Platinum Water back in 2017 as a direct result of working for another water company in Houston, and didn't see us working in that industry. And due to the racism that was in that industry at that time, I decided to take it upon myself, open up my business, and hire my own people. So Platinum Water is the first of its kind. It's truly Black owned, Black managed, Black operated. It is for us, by us.
Wow, beautiful. So that's something that you took on, and you left the plantation you was on, and now you're doing it all on your own, or you still just working in other jobs, but you working on that on the side, building your company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Broke the chain, ran to the cornfield, found the road, and kept on pushing.
And they didn't even got his foot off. He still got both his feet. It's all good. And my brother Bubb-G down there, man, tell us how you got involved with brother Earl and got involved in this fight as well, man.
Well, Earl and I are acquaintances here in Corpus. We met mutually through a friend of mine named Lazarick. Shout out to my boy Lazarick. Man, ever since then we met, we just kind of kicked it off. We talked about, ongoing things that we had. And just with that alone, we just kind of wanted to exhaust our resources, and we came about with, this plan to help with Flint. So that's kind of where we went with it. Shout out to my people in Flint, the Dayton family out there, E Dirt, Black Pablo, and they kind of gave us the opportunity to work in Flint and make this happen. So hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, a lot of the people that were affected were poor people, Black people, brown people, people that were really in the poor areas, which gave put a cloud of racism over that whole Flint situation. Some of the water was even rejected by, from what I read, the General Motors company in Flint, because it was rusting out the car parts. So if water is rusting out parts of cars, just imagine what it's doing in your body, what it's doing in your system. So the water that you have started working with, or the company that you built, what is the source of your water, and how has your water ensured to be healthy, clean water for the people?
That's a good question. So what we do as a company, we take the existing water, and we make it better. We make it susceptible for our people to be able to drink out the faucet. Now, for yourself and your viewers, I have a question. And this be kind of eerie for you. How long do you think it takes for the water that you flush down your toilet to go to those big vats in the middle of the fields in your neighborhood to get clean, and then back to your sink for you to drink?
Good question. No. Yeah.
You don't know?
No, sir.
It takes 45 minutes to go down there and get clean, and then it sits in those big water towers on the outskirts or in the middle of your town, and then it's pumped back to your house. That water is not clean. That water is strictly contaminated.
Right.
Hence, this is why we all, as a people, we stay on bottled water. Now, we can contribute our are diseases such as high blood pressure, hypertension, dandruff, skin diseases, even cancer to the drinking water. And it's been proven. And as Americans, we don't take the time to realize what it is that we're drinking, what is killing us. KRS said it best at one point in time in his life. We can't trust our government. We can't trust the drinking water. We can't trust nothing. Right. So, what that being said is we take the water that's coming in, we filter it 10 times before it enters the house through a lengthy filtering system, through our system that we manufacture. Once it's in the house, we filter it another 5 times. And then we add alkalinity to the water and give it to you at an alkalinity level of 9. So basically, when you go to the store and you buy those smart waters and all that thing of alkaline of 9.5 or 9, we're giving you that out your sink, pure drinking water, as God intended it to be.
Yeah, because a lot of the water that, and I remember growing up, man, we used to drink water out the faucet,
out the hose.
But a lot of that, those pipes were contaminated, and now there's a lot of heavy metals in the water that we
a lot of nickel, a lot of metal, a lot of iron, a lot of zinc, a lot of rust, a lot of calcium, a lot. Look at it like this. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
Even they say well water is better. So if we know that water falls out the sky in rain, so it hits our topsoil and it sinks through and it goes to our underground reservoirs that we get. So on washing across fecal matter from animals, pesticides we put on our foods and plants, even paint chipping off houses, goes to that groundwater and we drink that back up. Now the same thing with tap water. Everything we flush down our toilet gets clean and it comes back, and that's nasty. Every water system in the continental United States is recycled. There's only 2 states or 2 cities, well, actually 2 states in our nation here that has pure drinking water. One of them being Colorado. Now, why can't everybody get clean drinking water? Because we don't have accessibility to those wells, those deep water wells. And those northern states are compacted by snow. How come we just can't gather the snow and melt it down and have our people drinking? But the bureaucracy of it is that people try, but there's no money in it for them.
Yeah. So, and that's what I was about to say. It's not financially viable for them to do right, because we can make that same argument about the foods we eat as well. So definitely they're not going to go out of their way to provide clean water when there's an agenda anyway to depopulate anyway. So they're not going to do that. Brother Earl Brown and my brother Bubb-G are in the building. So how did y'all get connected with Flint in turn, and what kind of work are you guys planning on doing out in Flint? Because again, that's an ongoing thing that they're going through out there. So what is the connection there, and what is the plan to bring what you guys have to Flint to try to help improve that situation out there?
Oh, that's excellent. Well, Mr. Bubb-G put that deal together for us, and he presented it to me. He said, "Hey, I got the Dayton family out there, and we have certain things going on, and the water there has been horrible. And if you know the history in that, you know that 2 decades has passed, 3 documentaries, 2 movies, a big, huge cry for help. Right. There have been multiple companies go out there and say, we can do it, we will do it, and they failed. Right. And the reason why they failed is because they didn't take the time to do the research. My company and I, we've been working on this for a solid year. I've had multiple samples sent to me from Flint, Michigan, and we have worked it down out the faucet at a pH of 12 and out our alkaline spigot at a pH of 9. Pure, clean water. It took a year to get it that way. We did the R&D, we did the research, and again, a lot of brothers and sisters coming together and getting this together, and a lot of brilliant minds.
Go ahead, Bub. You got anything to add to that?
Yes, sir.
No, I mean he's touching on everything. The way we got connected again, I think Earl touched on it. I have a good buddy of mine, E. Dirk from the Dayton family. You know, we talk on a regular basis, and I know he's from the Flint area. You know, so I just, when the opportunity came about and Mr. Brown presented it to me, I just felt it was a no-brainer with me having a little bit of knowledge of what's going on in Flint. I felt like what we had to present to them, or or to get, what we had to do was somehow put that system in Flint. So just again, just kind of exhausting our resources and seeing how we can go best by doing that. And shout out to the Dayton family, E-Dirt, for kind of really putting that together and really making it happen.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't understand it's not so much when we talk about contaminated drinking water, we focus on the drinking aspect of it as opposed to the totality of it. Even when you bathing and washing your face and things of that nature, right, you're still inserting those contaminants into your body through your skin.
A 10-minute shower is the same as drinking 8 glasses of water.
Right. Right. So people kind of dismiss that fact, because even with people that say, well, you know what, we're gonna start consuming more healthy water, and you're trying to drink more healthy water, but then we're still bathing and using and washing our dishes and washing our clothes in that same type of contaminated water. So the importance of that is really high. Let's talk about your water for a second. So with because I heard you speak about the alkalinity, the alkaline that has been added to it. My dad actually is a big proponent of alkaline water, and he's been doing it for many years now. Of course, there are a lot of scrutinies and a lot of criticisms to alkaline water, as new information are coming up. But I'm just of the belief as well that if it's better than what's being used, it's still a benefit. Do you guys have like minerals that are added to the water as well, or are you guys just cleaning the water, or is it cleaning the water and inserting the minerals that are needed to actually hydrate and get the nutrients in the water, not to just have just the clean water?
We have 3 elements. We have the filtration system part of it, where we filter the water 10 times. We have the mineral aspect of the water, where we do add the essential minerals to help our bodies grow. And then as a bonus, we're adding a vitamin pack to each per gallon of water. So you're essentially not only drinking alkaline water, but you're drinking a multivitamin as well.
Yeah.
Getting healthy.
Yeah.
And what we need to do as a people, again, is that we see it. If the government says, hey, this is right, we know it's wrong. So we need to take it amongst ourselves to go ahead and correct this problem. And we cannot do that with just sitting on our hands and wondering, hey, my company, we took it to the streets. We went door to door with this campaign. And you'd be surprised with how many of us tell us, oh, you know something, don't worry about it. I've been drinking that water out the faucet, out the sink for 30, 50 years. Well, let's look at your health. You not only have high blood pressure, you have hypertension, you have diabetes, you have cancer. This is killing us. You touched on thing how the population control, how they're trying to get rid of us. Back in the day, they said if you want to hide something from us, you put it in the book. Well, if you want to get rid of us, put it in the water.
Right. Absolutely, man. Beautiful teaching. And what we gotta push and promote to people to drink more water as well, Bub. A lot of people don't really focus on how important the water and how much of our physical makeup consists of water. 60 to 70%, just different arguments. Some say 60, some say 70, some say 75. So with every part of our body, from bones to skin to organs, being made up of water, that importance is there. Let me ask you a really important question, because this is something that my dad discovered. Like I said, he's a big proponent of alkaline water, but he also noticed something else as he saw other companies that were pushing and selling alkaline water. He noticed that in some particular cases, the alkalinity would dissipate. Like if you go to a store where they sell gallons of alkaline water, and you come back a week later, they may still have some of those gallons that they had from a week or two before. And he concluded that alkaline actually dissolves. So if you don't get that water when you first alkalize that water, then it may not have any alkaline in it, and you find yourself. How do you guys, are y'all aware of that, or how do you?
Yes, we are
Keeping it alkaline, if that's what you guys want to do?
In order to maintain the specific alkalinity of that water, it's all in the storage. Now, if your dad goes to the store and he finds those clear containers of alkaline water, they're stored in the sun and they're stored in a non-cool environment. So that if the store is hot, they're normally at the front of the store, they're normally in front of a big window so they can be displayed out. And that is the wrong way to store alkaline water. Alkaline water needs to be stored in a tinted container in the cold. And it will hold its alkalinity up to 30 days on manufacturing.
Brother Earl Brown is in the building, Brother Bubb-G. Bub, you want to add anything to what we speaking on those points right now, or anything we missed?
No, I just kind of wanted to touch on, I think we spoke on it when I told you about it, K-Rino, the importance of, you change your quality of water, you could change your quality of life.
Right.
And we pushed on it earlier, we need to encourage the people to drink water as a whole, the importance of water is, would you say 60–70% of our, our made up system?
Water is life. And when you think about how they go to explore other planets and things of that nature, one of the first things they try to look for when they are trying to determine if a planet is inhabited, they look for water.
If it's habitable, they look for water.
Right. If they see
or
water
they try to
ice, then that's the first signs that, okay, there may be some type of life form on.
Or they try to terraform to get the water out first, and that is our at Platinum Water. This is our mantra. Change your water, you change your life, because life is water and water is life.
Right.
It's just simple. It's what it is.
Absolutely.
You don't run your car on water, you ran on gas.
Right.
And everyone has their specific place where they want to get the gas. That it can be Shell or whatever's in your city. Well, me personally, I prefer drinking alkaline water. It makes me feel better. It's oxygenated. It will cure anything you got going on. And and then touching on one more thing for your dad, if you're ever going to the store and you buy some alkaline water and it's underneath them fluorescent lights, and like say you go to Walmart and the alkaline water is sitting on those racks, pull from the back, pull from where it's dark at. The alkalinity will be stronger. Everybody knows that fluorescent lights, they burn your skin after a period of time.
Right.
So the same thing, it dissipates the alkalinity of the water.
Right. Beautiful teaching, man. Yeah. We want to ask you also, what are you guys doing in terms of promoting your company and promoting your product in a way that will make drinking water attractive to the people? Because we living in a society that currently pushes everything but water. There's a Gatorade ad they used to run a few years ago, and the slogan said, Gatorade, it's better than water. And we know that water, being life itself, being a creation of God, one of the greatest creations of God, there's nothing that man can make that's better than water. So what is the marketing plan you guys are implementing to make sure that we can try to make water attractive to the people? Because you got alcohol, you got soda, you got all these different fruit drinks, and you got a lot of drinks that are billed and styled as health drinks, but they're real sugary and they're not really good for you. What's the marketing plan to make water attractive?
The marketing plan for that one is to invite a lady or any woman out there with a child to come to my office and fill up a baby of water and just drink it and get healthy. Because that Gatorade commercial, I remember that commercial because I was living in Houston when I saw that. That commercial, we all know that every liquid drink on the planet is 90% water. So how can it be better than water when it's mostly water?
Yeah, and especially after they add all that other crap in it, then they contaminate. Yeah. See, they contaminate the water in a way that's not much different than what's going on in Flint, but it's not on that level. But the things they add, the artificial colors and the sugar and all the different things, that's a form of contamination as well. So yeah,
you're drinking the dye, you're drinking the sugar, and sugar artificially is not good for you. Sugar naturally, in so many ways, is not good for you. you're drinking all the preservatives they put in to preserve the color, to preserve the shelf life on that thing.
Right.
I mean, it's like drinking milk, like drinking pasteurized milk.
Right.
We all know that milk after it comes out the cow, goes to this big vat, and they skim the top off of it, and then they push it into a cooker to pasteurize it, heat it up.
Right.
Well, that's the wrong thing you do. If you live in a southern state and you've experienced a hurricane, say for instance, what is the first thing that the city officials tell you to do during a hurricane with your water?
They say start the boil. They do a boil.
That is. So and then the CDC tells you that any natural disease, if you add heat to it, what happens?
Yeah.
It becomes stronger.
Yeah.
So
all the kills it. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you're boiling water with all that contaminants, you're just making it stronger.
Right.
At my company, we do free water testing. We will actually come to your home for free and test your water, and actually show you what it is. I mean, up until and fecal matter that's still in the water.
Right.
And that's nasty. Everybody have you ever gotten a cup of water at the faucet and you see that little white stuff floating around in the water? You wonder what those little particles are?
Yeah.
Some of that's toilet paper.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's nasty.
Unbelievable, man. Yeah, a lot of sediment in the water, a lot of discoloration, and that's a lot of things. That's what the people in Flint went through, and they had. See, this is why I played a race card on situations like this, because they had internal investigators to come and investigate the water, people that were in the circle, and say, oh, it's okay, y'all can still drink it, when they tested that water and they knew that it wasn't any good. Now, other cities like Houston, Corpus, it may not be on the level that Flint is on, but the water is still bad. The water is still bad. So I'm certain that you guys plan on implementing the system in other cities as well. You know, just I guess it would start in your own homes, but to implement the system in other cities as well, and to try to get as many inner city people up on some clean water as possible.
Yeah, that goes back to advertisement on our part. We're going to initiate this. We have a test building in Flint, Michigan that we're going to go ahead and install in, and we invite any organization with an acronym or alphabet or whatever it is, come test the water.
Right.
Because getting back to what you said, you know, if people who govern themselves from within themselves are bound to fail. So if you send an inside organization to test the water, you're going to tell the rest of the world that, hey, this water is clean, this water is great. Well, it's not.
Yeah. Because
an outside entity such as myself just tested the water and found more sediment in this water than you did. And you just tested it the day before I did. But you're doctoring up your notes, you're doctoring up everything. So our goal in this whole thing is we're going to essentially do what we can't do as a Black community. We're going to trust the police on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 2 police officers to go one to our test house and one to any house in the city that they choose, and give me a water sample from both faucets and bring it back to me in a sealed container. And I want them to hold the cup in front of their body camera. Wow. So that there's no fakery on that one. Right. And then bring it back to me, and we're going to test it live on national TV. So to show you that we're on the up and up, my company's on the up and up, I'm on the up and up, Bub is on the up and up, and that these people of Flint, Michigan need help. We've had all these multi-million-dollar corporations to come in and say, hey, we can do it. They come in, they take the money, they sprinkle a little salt in the water, and they leave. Right. Right. We're not going to do that. Right. We're going to come in, we're going to do it, we're going to change the way these people actually drink water, and then we're going to stay. Right. Because we're going to establish, do you remember the old-fashioned water stores? Where you go in and fill your water bottle up?
Oh, okay, yeah, no doubt.
Well, we're going to establish those stores in Flint, right, where the people can come in at a reduced rate, because we all know that alkaline water costs. It's very expensive in the stores nowadays. So we're going to set it up where they can come in, fill the water bottle up, and be happy. Right, gotcha. If they can't afford the system, to get attached to their property.
Okay. And we also want to encourage people to just start being more health conscious in general.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times, see, good clean water it serves the purpose of flushing out a lot of toxins, but it's counterproductive to try to flush out toxins when what you're drinking contains toxins as well. So we want to try to encourage people to be more conscious, and then just to be totally transparent, because there are a lot of people who don't subscribe to alkaline water. Just and I'm sure you already know that they don't.
Well, I know.
And there's a lot of information to just being real to counter it as well. But again, like I say, I'm of the thought process of like, if it's better than what's being offered, then it's better than what's being offered. But we want to encourage healthy lifestyles in people. We want to encourage proper hydration, because a lot of people do drink water, but then they're still not hydrated, because drinking water alone does not hydrate you. That's why I asked you about the minerals. And I loved your answer that you guys are putting minerals in the water as well, because we need the hydration as well, and we can eliminate a lot of these sicknesses that you mentioned by the proper consumption of water and changing our diet, man.
Do you know that every country, every major superpower country on this planet, and I'm speaking solely of their hospitals, use alkaline water every day. They give it to their customers, they give it to the constituents, they give it to the customers, they give them to the staff. We are the only country on this planet that we don't use alkaline water. And playing the race card, and I'll say this and be frank with it. If a Caucasian man or a white man knock on your door and say, hey, alkaline water is good for you, drink it, we'll drink it. If a black man knock on your door, do the same thing, hey, alkaline water, get out of here, don't do it. We don't get to that trust level.
That's pretty much how it happened.
Yeah. So, and this is the reason why we're keeping it out in the open with everything that we're going to do. So we want to build that rapport. We want to build that trust with our people. But me, I come from the streets of South Central Los Angeles, where I was born and raised. I lived in Houston for up until last year, about 6 years. Right. So I'm very familiar with the sign that's sitting behind you. So this is, I mean, the SUC, being the West Coast baby, the SUC was very detrimental. I didn't know nothing about screw music until I got to Texas, and it blew my mind.
Yeah. SUC and we SPC, but SUC is like they came behind us, the South Park Coalition. And it's funny you mentioned that, because Screw, he always said that, he styled and patterned the Screwed Up Click behind after the South Park Coalition. So that was always an honor to hear that from my brother, the great DJ Screw, man. We got Bubb-G and we got my brother Earl Brown, man. I want to commend both of y'all, for the efforts and the work that y'all are doing, because I know that when you start out to do something that's not being done, and when you start off trying to do something from the ground up, it's a lot tougher, and it's not always financially lucrative in the beginning. But the people who do it from their spirit and from their heart, they don't do it just for the money. They're not really in it for the money, they're in it to try to save people and make the quality of people's life better. So I commend both of y'all, because I just in my time around Bub, I know what kind of heart he got. He's just a genuinely good dude, so I know if you're affiliated with him, then that's the
I appreciate that
scenario, the situation, brother. So we definitely appreciate y'all's efforts. Let people know if it's a website, if there's a some social media info that they can contact you guys and they can get the product from,
Okay, they can get in contact with us through Instagram. So Platinum Water at Instagram.com. We're working on the Facebook page. It's very hard to get this. We want to keep fresh material. The website is currently being built, and we will have it up in operation by December 1st. And we want to get the word out to our people that, look, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to buy a water system from anybody, you don't have to buy it from me. Buy it from somebody. But ask this specific question: the filtration level of it, is it more than 5? Because anything more than 5, you're just drinking regular tap water. This right here, this water's been filtered twice. and they put in the bottle and gave to you. It's no better than tap water. And that's the reason why when they put it up, they say drinking water. It's not filtered. It's not filtered properly. It's just regular drinking water.
Let me ask you a question on that note, because you made me think about something when you were saying that. There was 1 year recently where like 50 natural herbalist individuals who were into herbal remedies. They would subscribe to any of the modern medicine, American medicine, or world medicine. They came up dead in the same year.
Same year, Dr. Sabian.
Yeah. Do you have any like, have you received any pushback or any backlash yet? Or have you just not gotten to that point where any backlash?
Oh, every day.
As soon as you start to, and anyone begins to start to push against the machine that promotes the contaminants that we're speaking about, and their methods start to become effective and gain momentum, they become a target. You know, so is that something that you're starting to see already, or?
Oh yeah, especially here in Texas.
Yeah.
I've been hit up by, you know, them Caucasian brothers with the shaved heads. I've been hit up by the Klan. I've been hit up by multiple organizations that want to come, and I tell them all the same thing. Before I became a saved man, I belonged to an organization that was how do we put this? We took no mess. And if you want to bring it, I still got 10,000 brothers on by my side. And if you want to bring it, I'll bring it to you. I'm not Dr. Sabian. I'm here to help the world. But if you knock on my door, I'm gonna knock on yours too.
Retaliate.
And
oh God.
I got kids,
right.
You know, and I want to make sure they see their daddy for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and whoever else. But you know, like the brother Nip, I carried the same club rag he carried. So if you want to bring it that way, then that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, we got to be really, really strategic in our movements in terms of when we are doing what we believe and know to be God's work. Because when you get to doing this kind of work, the opposition is coming.
Oh yeah, they come.
But when you try to save the people, you got to move forward.
With the way they push back nowadays, they don't push and burn a cross on your front lawn. They push by sending people to your doorstep to check your business license. They want to check your insurance bonds. They want to check the solidity of your equipment. They want to check whether or not the people that you put on the street to do this thing have their permits. They come at you every day in every way. They say everything but the N-word to you. And then they make up laws, and they make up statutes that wasn't there on Monday, but they're there on Thursday, and we don't understand those statutes. But this is the thing: you got to keep your good lawyer by your side.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, you got to find them. You got to fight them. This is where our people fall short. Learn how to fight the man on his court, because he brings it to your court every day, and he's gonna pull that gun out and squeeze that trigger every day. But if you fight him in his courtroom and you win, that takes away their sting. That takes away their power. And then also, I hate to say it, but sometimes you got to play ball. Sometimes you got to dance with the devil to get what you need. And we all have done it. I'm not saying it's a sellout situation, but sometimes you got to give a little to get a little. And sometimes you got to push back on your merit to get your point across. Yeah.
No compromise, no surrender.
Exactly.
And business is warfare.
There it is.
And you know, you got to learn how to fight the fight. You know, and
given the person who I used to be in my younger years, this is my atonement for that. This is me helping my people. You know, I know that when I go upstairs, I got to be judged by that man up there, and I know it's gonna be a judgment. But let's make that judgment. Let's ease that pain just a little bit, so I can say, look here, Lord, I was able to help 1 million people get fresh drinking water, compared to slinging that pack on the corner to 1 million people.
Right, right.
So it's a given.
Beautiful words. Bub, you got anything you want to add? You want to give me a social media? Look, we still we all over the place, but you know, we still push music too, or whatever you got going, Bub. You know, feel free to drop some info on us.
I mean, we just want to help K-Rino. That's it. We just want to help people. There was really no agenda behind it. You know, there was no, yo, let's get rich. That wasn't even part of the conversation. I literally have friends in Flint, you know, and they're going through the water crisis, you know, and it just made sense, you know, it just made sense to do it. I just want to help somebody. If I could just help one person get healthy, you know, if we can reach one person and have them, you know, have the education around what they're, you know, the alkaline water, and then that one person can reach somebody else. And again, there's no agenda behind it. We just want to help somebody here. That's it.
Already,
That is it.
you know, I know, Bub. And as we close, you know, it made me think of something that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. Since we're talking about water, you guys are, along with other people, are offering options to the people where there were no options before, or there were no options given. It was just imposed that this is what you drink. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you set a clean glass of water next to the dirty glass of water and let the people decide. The people will choose the clean glass, but if the only option they have is the dirty glass, and that's what they're going to consume. So when it comes to this situation, it puts me in remembrance of that. And I commend y'all again for the fight that y'all are fighting, but for a bigger fight that you guys are going to undertake, because the more you grow, the more opposition is going to come. And
they push back all the time.
Right. So,
and I'm willing to go through this for my people. I want my people to be healthy. I want that little kid that's playing in the front yard, and the mom, we all been through, the mama that locked you out the house, and the only place you got to drink is that faucet because you're thirsty.
Right.
I want to make that faucet healthy.
Right. Beautiful words, brother. But I thank y'all, man. Anytime y'all want to come on, feel free to reach out. And I hope everybody who watched got something out of this, and support the movement, man. It's your big brother, K-Rino Radio, man. One love to y'all. Peace. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.